This is the one true, I'm the Gamer Boss Bros.
And the Informational Emperor, Drew Backlash.
And the First Lady of Media, Blue.
Welcome to the Aftermath section. Yes, it's been a while since we did one of these. But Star Wars, I think it's important enough. And first, Aftermath. Han Solo dies! No!
Right. Well, first of all, we gotta explain Aftermath. Folks, if you haven't seen the movie and you're not interested in any spoilers...
He's dead, though!
Stop now!
Why?
Turn away! Press the pause. Rewind. Don't listen, because we're going to tell you all kinds of stuff that are in this movie.
He was cool, though.
He was ultimately the best ever.
The worst part is, it's that analog thing we talked about in the review. This is a lot like Episode 4, like the first Star Wars movie ever. He's the Obi-Wan in this situation. But
that's true.
In a world where even in the Clone Wars cartoon, where Qui-Gon Jinn, voiced by Liam Neeson, came back as a Force ghost, we will never see Han Solo again.
Yeah, Han Solo, chances are he's not going to come back as a Force ghost.
Don't quote me on it. I think they're making a Han Solo movie where he was younger. That's what I heard.
With a different actor.
Yeah, but we will never see Harrison Ford as Han Solo again.
And let me just say, too, I mean, Harrison Ford, in case you guys just don't know who Han Solo is, he's the Wookiees' partner. He's the guy who plays, the really awesome pilot smuggler dude from the very first and has maintained all throughout all the Star Wars. He said, I will only come back under one condition. And that is, you kill me off and never bring me back.
Also, you pay me a lot more than you pay your star Daisy Ridley.
Hey, so said the 73-year-old dude. He's like, swimming in cash.
Hey, you know what? There's no shame in this game, man. I can understand when you're like that old. You can say, maybe I don't want to be in Star Wars and I want to just enjoy Star Wars like everyone else.
Hey, dude was in the Blade Runner. I mean, he was the dude who precursed all of this sci-fi.
Don't talk to me about Blade Runner.
I mean,
Blade Runner is terrible.
Well, you got to look at it. Blade Runner did it before anybody else.
But it was terrible, though.
It was only terrible if you look at the standards of today.
Yeah.
And look at it back then. But if you were then, and you didn't have any of this grandiose stuff, then that was pretty cool stuff. But nonetheless, he's been in the business doing sci-fi a long, long time. He's like ready to move on.
Yeah. All right, fine, whatever.
All right, so who else was in the movie? We know.
Kylo, you know why Han Solo died? Because Kylo Ren is Ben Solo, his son. Oh no! And you know what? J.J. Abrams is smart and says, you know what? I'm not going to tease you guys. I'm going to tell you at the beginning of the middle of the movie that's Han Solo's son.
Yes. And who's the mom?
Who do you think?
That would be Princess Leia, who's also in the movie. And instead of training in the ways of the Force, like it was implied that she would in Return of the Jedi, she fell into a comfortable pattern, and she's still leading the Resistance.
Well, that's only because her son went to the dark side, and that kind of threw her and Han Solo go back to their old ways. He's smuggling, and she just leading forces to stop evil empires.
And you know that
makes sense to me.
That also, I mean, he turned to the dark side. He was a Jedi, Kylo Ren. Let's get to it. Let's get to him. He was a Jedi taught by the one and only Luke Skywalker himself, and he felt bad because he turned into the dark side. But they never said it. But he put two and two together. The guy Leia French in the second movie that turns out to be her brother. Not only were they freaking out about that kissy kiss, but that also means his Jedi teacher, Kylo Ren's Jedi teacher, is also his uncle. That would make Kylo Ren Luke's nephew. So Luke probably took that very hard, in fact. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, Luke's in the movie.
Obviously, if you people didn't know, Luke Skywalker is A, in the movie, obviously, yes, and B, not evil. You ever heard some of your rumors? Why are you trying to make Luke Skywalker the new Vader? He is Luke Skywalker. He went through all that crap so he didn't become the new Vader.
They're trying to make Jar Jar Binks evil, too. So
of course they are, because they hate. They're hating, that's all.
Yeah.
That's all they do.
Well, I gotta say, folks, if you were, wondering and have seen Mark Hamill as of the last 5-10 years, he did not look very Luke Skywalker-y until the movie. He looked kind of like he had his day in the sun. But when you see him in this movie, short as it may be, he had rose to everything that every Luke Skywalker anticipation would be about. He looked the part. There was almost a glow around him.
And he had a little bit of a gut. He didn't get trained up like Carrie And
Harrison Carrie Ford looked good too.
Yeah, Carrie looked good too.
She looked great because she had a moment.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get trained up like Carrie and Harrison did. There was even a scene. If you watch The Flash and you know him as the trickster, you can even see pretty much what he looks like now. But when he turns around and he has that Jedi, he has that dumpy beer belly, but he's wearing
I couldn't see it.
Couldn't see it.
He's wearing the ceremonial robes. His hair's grown back out. He has this epic beard. It's like just like Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn.
Just like him. Obi-Wan. He looks so cool.
Yeah. By the way, he's in the end of the movie. And I'm assuming going to train Rey, and that's how the movie ends.
Yeah. Right, it ends that way. Like if you're looking for, in fact, they spent the whole movie kind of looking for it.
I mean, they cameoed R2D2. They cameoed Admiral Akbar, who's flying.
Which was awesome.
He's flying a plane. They cameoed that one dude that was on the Millennium Falcon with Lando on Return of the Jedi. They were all cameoed in that movie. That was awesome.
Totally awesome.
Epic. Alias is Greg Germain, who was also in Ned and Stacy, which me and Bronze have the guilty pleasure for. He was in the movie somewhere. I think he was that bigger Resistance guy with the beard. They had a lot of cameos. Daniel Craig was in the movie, people.
Yeah.
Yes, and tell them that part. Where was Daniel Craig? Because there's so many of us who will see the whole movie and not know Daniel Craig was in the movie.
I didn't even know until Backlash told me again.
Yeah, I thought it was, someone told me. It's like, well, Daniel Craig, he was a stormtrooper that pretty much got mind tricked by Rey. He said, "You will let me go." It's like, screw that. I'll make your chains tighter. And she said it with a force, like, "You will let me go." It's like, "I will let you go." And he started to book-ifificate. It's like, "And you will drop your weapon." And I will drop my weapon. That was him. Apparently they were
one of the funnier parts of the movie.
Apparently they were on the same studio. It's like he walked over, and was like, "Hey, please give me a part, please, please, please,
please, baby, please, 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 baby, please, 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 baby. Hey, aren't you James Bond? Please, baby, please, please, please." So yes, James Bond was in a galaxy long time ago and far, far, far away.
Yep, that's the best role Daniel Craig's had in an action movie in a while.
Yeah.
Let's see. And let me see who else. 3PO was in it. There was one scene. I won't go into it, but
I still don't know why he has that red arm.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, they haven't explained it yet. I'm sure it does have a backstory associated with it. You know, and one more stop about the whole Daniel Craig thing. I think the Crawl was the person who shared that with us about that. And ironically enough, Daniel Craig was on the set doing Spectre. He was actually shooting the film Spectre. And it just kind of came away with, hey, wouldn't this be cool if... Yes. Can I read something here from the New York Daily News?
We're on the clock. So
New York Daily News speculates that Craig was a stormtrooper guarding Rey, which is Daisy Ridley, when she tries pulling the old Jedi mind trick, which is exactly what Backlash just told us. And then it says, "You will remove these restraints." Now, mind you, when you see the movie, watch out for that. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, now, you know what? I couldn't say in the legit review, but I will say in my aftermath my other complaints about the movie because they're so spoiler that I didn't want to ruin it for you all. But if you're watching the aftermath, I'm assuming you're watching the movie. So here we go. Why did they in the big moment did they make another Star Destroyer? No, Death Star, but they call it a Star Killer. And instead of being a giant moon-shaped space station, it's a planet. There's so many reasons why that's such a bad idea. And not just on a story level, but at a practical level, the weapon that powers it is their own sun.
Yeah.
So why would you destroy your weapon's own source of life just to destroy planets? Now, don't get me wrong, it's very effective in the movie. That thing shotgun a half a dozen planets.
Planet Buster.
Yeah, and in fact, it killed one of the planets I wanted to be on to see in the movie because it looked like a big giant city planet. And I said, nope, we're blowing up the big giant city planet. And then I said, aw. But they're using that again. And don't get me wrong, the Death Star is a pretty amazing killer thing. But we've seen it how many times? 1 billion times.
Yeah.
They could have done something different a little bit.
Yeah, they're gonna try. Hopefully, they
maybe a giant armada or some sort of weird monster. I don't know. Maybe Skullface. he was a kaiju. I don't know. Maybe not the Death Star again. But and the second complaint, because I want you guys to have your turn, is that everyone knows the captain, the chrome, cool-looking stormtrooper.
Yeah.
That was a lady. And I said, oh, okay, that's cool. And then you said, all right, she's cool-looking. She's going to do stuff.
Way cool.
I want to see her just break necks and hunt down, like, Finn and Rey and everybody else, because you don't look that cool and do nothing. Spoilers, she does nothing! No, she does less than nothing. She gets ambushed by a Wookiee and then thrown down the trash chute. The trash chute!
I think she was a MacGuffin. Because we
they
saw her in the trailers and we looked at that and say, oh, I know this is going to be epic.
TV Tropes calls her your clothes, Chekhov's gunman, because if you're a MacGuffin, they're using that item for just so blatantly. But if that's also what a Chekhov's gun would be a MacGuffin, but she's a Chekhov's gun man, meaning she's supposed to be that. That means you don't pick up that gun and not use it, and that's exactly what happened. It's like this and that. They're probably going to introduce more trooper women in silver suits that are disposable.
Well,
no.
All I could say is if they did not use her again, that would be such a disappointment because there's so much potential locked up in what she could be. She could be a contender.
I hope she does come back. I hope she comes back trained up so she won't get ambushed again by a big giant Wookiee.
How
can you get ambushed by a Wookiee? It's a big hairy beast.
And he's clumsy and loud.
There was an amazing scene where Finn had the lightsaber, and there was this riot gear stormtrooper with this.
I think they're called riot troopers.
Riot trooper, the electro baton.
Mm-hmm.
He took it to Finn. Finn almost got his butt kicked.
I know.
That could have went to her, but which only leaves me with a small bit of hope that they didn't want to kill her and they might bring her back. But that would have been all for naught if they didn't do that.
She could have still done that scene and still been alive. She's that good. Yeah. Come on.
One of the things that I didn't like about the movie, and again, it's a nitpick, folks, and with all that is going on in our culture these days, I find it just a little unnerving that the only tase scene, I believe the only tase scene in the movie, is when the daggone droid tases the black dude. What's up with that? Haven't they learned by now? I mean, it's sad to know that in someone's portrayal of the future, we've got a potential Jedi getting tased by a freaking Wookiee. Okay, and then tased 3 times. So I had a problem with that. But moving on.
Yeah, I did notice that too, but still. It made sense in the context of the story, but I think they tried to do it for humor.
Yeah, it was humorous, all right. Only to those who are wearing masks and hoods and such. And then speaking of masks and hoods and such, I found that this movie had a tremendous amount of comparisons to the Third Reich. I think Backlash alluded to that earlier. If you saw a lot of these big, giant, casty scenes where you saw stormtroopers by the tens of thousands, then in the backdrop you saw these symbols, and then you have this very strong, very vocal, very stoic bad guy type thing spewing poison about. This was very reminiscent of Hitler and the Third Reich.
Yeah, I just want to know, as we wrap this up, I want to know what is next for the series. I mean, there's so many mysteries. Even though Rey did show up at Luke Skywalker's private resort, he doesn't mean that she...
Skywalker Ranch.
Huh?
Skywalker Ranch. No, it's not.
You got me. Okay, yeah. There's no guarantee that they'll actually train her. And Grayskull, what's he up to? And where did he come from? Because I wouldn't say that I read enough Star Wars expanded universe to be like an expert, but I've been following Star Wars for a very long time, and in this particular segment there's always been 2 Sith, a master and an apprentice. So where the heck did Grayskull came from? Now, I've heard theories that they said that Grayskull was actually the master of Palpatine a long time ago.
Yeah.
There was some hints to that in the movie. And they didn't say it, but there were some subtleties there.
Where Palpatine said, I killed my master. And the master probably didn't die. He just let Palpatine think he was dead, so he would do all the hard work and he would just take over. I would love for that to be the case, but really, we don't know what's going on here. And I can't wait till the next movie. I hope we don't have to wait like 5 years. That'll be depressing.
All right, now before we wrap up, let me get this out of the way. Lupita Nyong'o, the role she's been hinting at so long, It's like another Yoda X species. This little CGI creature with these big Coke bottle glasses.
CGI! Burn it! Burn it! Burn it!
No,
But
we like CGI.
We love CGI.
And then it was a good character, effective character. And her accent, pretty good. In fact, her accent is streamed throughout some of these trailers, and I didn't know it. Good. She had a good American style accent.
You know, me on the other hand, I would have liked to have seen her with some alien type-esque additions to her human form, because I think she's beautiful, and I think she, being in the movie, would have just added even more with her acting chops, the ability to portray her beauty, even if you did muddle it down with some kind of half alien face or some alien arms or whatever, make her small in her own humanist form.
See,
but that was just something that I noticed.
We already have a black main character. If we had 2 black people on screen, the whole universe would melt.
I know that's
So we gotta keep.
so sad. You can't put too many black people in one place at one time. How too sad is that?
Or they'll cancel the show like Minority Report apparently.
Yeah, Minority Report rocks and everything. Anyway, another.
Yeah.
But
we don't know it's canceling, but that's the scuttlebutt.
speaking of black character, looking at the character that played, what's the guy's name? The other potential Jedi dude.
What? Finn?
John Boyega.
Finn. Yeah, John Boyega. That character could possibly be a Jedi. We don't know because the movie didn't really say. And it's really cool to know that Rey and Finn could possibly both be doing the whole Jedi thing. They both are able to wield the sword. They're both able to turn on the saber. So, it could be, who's this guy?
Mace Windu, Sam L.
Windu.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson character being a Jedi. It's possibly that this, guy, because both Rey and Finn were both, orphans per se, and not raised by their natural parents, and they have a lot of questions as to, their own.
That would be interesting, I admit.
It could be. I mean, wouldn't that just be so freaking cool to have 2
Sam
of them?
Sam L come back as a Force ghost and say, "You're my son."
Yes.
And then it's like, and John Boyega said, "Colonel Nick Fury, what are you doing here?"
I know.
And speaking of which, what you alluded to in the proper review is something very smart, and I think is that maybe Rey is the daughter of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Now, doesn't that be amazing?
That's what I'm thinking.
Now, people
That's what
keep
I
saying
honestly
they're
think.
twins here.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
But
They
then
don't know her. Yeah.
It happened in the expanded universe. That's why they're saying it.
Yeah.
But I think they're being smarter this time and said, let's make her the daughter of Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
That would explain a lot.
Yes. And I do think that there's some kind of attraction beyond, some kind of romantic attraction that the Kaiwo, what is his name?
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren has for Rey already.
Weird.
He's feeling something
Maybe
for
you're
her.
right, yeah,
There's an
yeah.
attraction there. And they couldn't very well do that very well if they're brother and sister.
Yeah.
So that would stand the reason that there's a very good hint that could be. And then the character that Finn plays, he might be, how the original Star Wars, there was a 3-way love triangle going on originally with Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Why not now revisiting that whole 3-way love triangle with Kylo Ren, Rey, and Finn?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Finn's the unrequited love type thing.
And they're going to be more careful about this now than they were then because incest is not the Star Wars way.
And it wouldn't play well. And I think this character, by the way, spoiler alert for the ladies, the guy is really, when he takes off his helmet,
Pretty boy.
he is a pretty boy. Now, I got to tell you, it's very Loki-esque.
Yeah.
You kind of love you really love to love the bad boy. But that's all I
He got
got
a
to say.
Triple H nose. His nose was so big.
But he's still cute, though. He plays it well.
And after his butt whooping by Rey, he's all damaged now. And I said to Blue, he said, "All you women love damaged guys.
Yeah.
We can fix him. We can fix him. I'll fix him.
I'll make him whole again." So yeah, that being said, that's all I got to wrap this up.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm done.
Me too.
I really love the movie, folks. Go see it. Make your own judgment calls.
Despite my nitpicks, it's so good. It's so good.
More CGI next time,
Yeah,
folks.
just it doesn't have
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be 50 CGI, 50 real. Just give me 30%.
Quit tasing the black guy.
I think now that he's one of the chosen one, he's not going to get tased anymore.
Absolutely not.
Let's hope he doesn't get butt whooped again, because being tased and being butt whooped by everyone is making him not look good.
Amen.
All right, this is the one Charlie the Gamer Boss Bro.
Informational Emperor, True Backlash.
And the First Lady of Media Blue.
Signing out for Aftermath. Go watch The Force Awakens or Unleashed or whatever it's called.
I have a good feeling about this.
Just look for Star Wars.
Yay.